Hello?
Hey Yuri, can you hear me?
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm okay. What's new?
Um, Trying to run something on my Py3 branch on Tautology, and just realized that Nautilus is lacking some backports for Py3 compatibility in many tasks. So I'm
Okay.
trying to run something on master.
Wonder if anybody else is coming.
Yeah, me too. Okay.
Hello, everybody.
Hey.
Hi, Nathan.
So, Yuri, what's the status on Nautilus?
It's out of my hands. I think Sage and David were upgrading the Ceph long running cluster yesterday with that, just to see how it's doing. But I think it's like about to be released.
Okay, I opened the release notes PR, so we'll see what happens.
Do you have any backport PRs?
No, it's just the release notes. I
No, I
assume there
understand.
won't be there won't be any backports. I hope.
I meant not just for Nautilus. I think that you're working on some Luminous PRs.
Yeah, I'm trying to get one more into Luminous. Yeah.
How many am I waiting for?
Oh, let me look at the Luminous status. I haven't thought about it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yuri,
Oh,
I can see 4 or 5 PRs that might need testing for Luminous. I will add the labels so you
okay.
could test
And
them. Okay.
okay, sounds good. Thanks. And if you have, it's not urgent, but if you have any either Nautilus or Mimic PRs. So just keep labeling them so we don't accumulate them for the end.
Yeah, but we're not going to run any tests on Nautilus until the tag gets
Yeah,
added, right? Yeah.
I understand. I understand.
Okay, sure. I will add labels. No problem. I think Kier was going to work on a Nautilus PR, right?
I was running on Nautilus. And the thing is that our tautology deploy is running Nautilus by default, and I just realized it's does not have anything, any PR that we merged to master related to Python 3 compatibility. So the general question is also in which order we need to go through the, like, make master be the first.
What do you mean?
I mean, to be switched to Python 3
Oh,
tautology.
Yeah, definitely master, I would say. We have all of the PRs merged into master, right? The Python 3.
Yeah. So I'm a little bit in stuck just because I do not have enough images in our instance of Jenkins. I mean OVH. Like the recent one which I used with master, like CentOS 7.6 and 7.8. And I need to spend some time for creating ones in order to test tautology patches.
So the idea is that you would test the tautology deployment on various operating systems, like CentOS.
No, the idea is to test at least one operating system, but since I was running Nautilus, I only had 7.4, CentOS 7.4, which has been used to test tautology PRs and test the functionality of tautology itself. But now, since there is no 7.4 distros for master, which works for master, I need more images. Now a downstream OVH.
I'm still kind of confused. You are the Python 3 migration of tautology is about code that runs on the tautology worker node, right?
Yes.
And
So
does the Ceph lab use CentOS for the worker nodes?
okay, so the tautology deploy test, it's a separate thing. It's running our SUSE OVH instance. It deploys the tautology in our OVH instance. It doesn't use the Ceph lab. But the images which I use, like 7.4, are made by applying Ceph Ansible scripts with test node role. And eventually it was, in the meantime, it is working in sense of running upstream tests in OVH, it 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 has been working in our downstream open stack. So it's just
I see. So
replication.
you want to have you want to be able to trigger a test run using the Teuthology instance that you deploy via the automated deployment test.
Yes. So
And for that, you need a CentOS image so that you could run tests
yeah,
that on CentOS. Okay.
yeah. If I schedule a test with Ubuntu, I need Ubuntu image. But but for now, I've been using CentOS 7.4, and yes. So in order to run tests in master, I need a newer version of CentOS or Ubuntu.
Yeah, that's true. Master uses the latest CentOS.
And it is using two of them, like 7.6 and 7.8.
Well, the master actually uses 8, CentOS 8 as well.
Mm. Yeah. So I just was trying to figure out what's happening.
There was an effort to drop CentOS 7 support from master Octopus, but it got pushed back, and so they are keeping support for CentOS 7, but it has to be the latest version, I assume, of CentOS 7, the most recent one.
So maybe I need to switch to and try to create another image for A8. Just curious, which image should I use for validation of successful runs in Tautology?
Well, if you can do 8 easily, let me look what are the supported distros in master.
Well, another question that I need to rise up is I definitely will not be able to merge any of the PRs to any of the branches in Ceph till the end of this year, since I'm go for vacation on 16 December. And is anyone else volunteering to help with this during my absence? I know. I was hoping here will be more people to discuss this.
Hi, here. This is Rakesh here. I can help with you, but I can't guarantee that I'll be able to work continuously because we have a downstream release coming for Nautilus in Jan. So I might be able to help a little bit, but not sure how much I can take.
Okay. Any help is appreciated, even just because we need to test all those backboard patches as well, all the branches. And I don't know, Nathan, which branches does it make sense to backboard by 3 patches? I don't know. Yuri, maybe you can also pull up.
It's easy. Nautilus, Mimic, Luminous.
Can we update this the tracker issue for the Py3 topology with these named branches?
Do we want to do baseline testing after Python 3 is done?
Say it again.
Like when you update with Python 3 all Mimic, Luminous, and Nautilus, do we want to run some baseline tweets on them?
Yeah, definitely. But after merging all backports,
Okay.
just to make sure we didn't break anything. Just
So I checked the tracker issue and it already mentions all of the. I think it just,
Thanks.
the only problem is that it says ETC, so you could just remove the.
ETC. So actually it's original one that I invented, but there is Mimic as well, but you said that Mimic is not required, or do we still support Mimic, or
We do.
Mimic is still supported, yes, upstream. It will be supported until at least for some months after Octopus is released.
so those 4 branches is enough?
Master, Nautilus, Mimic, Luminous.
Do you anticipate?
Is it intentional? It's not related question to the topics, but is it intentional to have the release names in alphabetical order?
No.
Like
Yes,
Luminous,
yes, it's
Mimic,
intentional.
Nautilus,
It's
Octopus.
started
Is
with
it inten-
Argonaut. Yes, it started with Argonaut, then Bobcat or Bobtail, and then Cuttlefish, et cetera, et cetera. Each major release gets the next letter of the alphabet.
Really?
Yes, I will post you the documentation that explains it just a second.
So next one is Octopus. And then what?
Something on P. Pi?
Hey, Nathan, you referring to Luminous and Python 3, do you us doing more on Luminous?
Okay, I just posted the understanding the release cycle. If you read the first paragraph there, it explains about the letters. I suggest to backport also to Luminous because I suspect that we will continue running Luminous upgrade tests, right? Things that install Luminous.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, Luminous upgrades from Luminous will still be tested, right? So. And also, we have to do 12.2.13 QE. That's coming soon, right?
Right.
That's
that one
also
is
testing of Luminous.
that one is still in the pipeline.
Yeah, I don't think that Luminous testing is just going to stop after 12.2.13. It will still continue for some time, so it's probably makes sense to make the Python 3 changes in the Luminous tasks too.
Speaking of days, assuming if we release Nautilus soon, then we hit what we wanted, right? Mimic and Nautilus. So I will try to get Luminous out, but I don't think that we have any promises that we will do it before the year end. Is it what's your
No,
feeling?
no, there's no promise on that. No. Actually, this whole release, Luminous 12.2.13, is just our goodwill. There's no promise. Luminous is already end of life, but
Okay.
we have these backports queued, right? And so it would be nice for the Luminous users to get access to those fixes. Nice to have. No deadline.
Yes, is Luminous stable enough? I mean,
Luminous is the most mature release, right? It's the oldest one and it's now actually overdue to be end of life. So, and we have a bunch of fixes queued and already merged. And if we didn't do a release, then the users would never have access to those fixes. That's the argument for doing a release.
yeah, I understand.
But of course, any release is risky because we might introduce a regression.
I mean, it is since it's mature, it is supposed to have non-flicky tests with, like it's passing always passing for each build.
No, Kier, the Ceph core suites they are so complicated that there are always failures.
Ah, crap.
And
So
also they have hundreds
it's
of
not
tests,
possible.
or even thousands, right? Maybe 10,000, and every time we run a test, we only do a subset. So one time it might be all succeeding, and then the next one takes another random subset, a different random subset, and you get failures.
So it's not the easy thing to rerun tests and say it's like if it's passing without spending pretty much effort. Like
That's what we do during QE validation.
yeah.
So essentially we run suites and we analyze and have leads to approve failures. But it's relatively easy.
Yeah, as long as the leads are working on it, then they say, yes, you can ignore these failures. No, these failures cannot be ignored. We have to fix them. Then they help to fix them.
Slightly different subject, just FYI. Several of our suites, upgrade suites, they actually tricky in terms of they need to lock, I think, 5 nodes in order to run. So we're looking at the ways how to reduce amount of nodes, and it's also tricky. I think 5 nodes is like too much to ask for. And then possibly it somewhat relates to like, I don't know, maybe you can know the mechanics how we actually lock nodes, but I don't think that we have any like deep logic. So essentially we're waiting for nodes to be free and then we lock them. And I think we also have some small amount of nodes that we keep unlocked all the time. But maybe
there's a default option in
right.
in a tautology config which says like keeping 5 nodes. I mean it's not keeping 5 nodes, but it's just because we need to keep some amount of nodes unlocked. It's
What I'm saying is that, one way to address this issue, try to take a look at tests and see if, like, if we're asking for like 5 nodes or we can do less. But other options might be, for example, to introduce some logic and say that for like suites that ask for 5 nodes, we have some logic how we can queue them and take them. Because essentially what I do from running standpoint, I schedule them with higher priority. So if I say, priority 70, then essentially they like push everybody else out and they eventually lock 5 nodes. Otherwise, there is no way to even run them. They won't be able to run.
yeah, unless someone else comes and schedule a suite with 30
Yes.
or even 10. I saw
Well,
this.
actually, lately, I think we like introduced that new rules, and people don't do it on daily basis. Before they do, typically somebody new who doesn't know what's going on, and he tries to get some tests out, and like he can't.
Yeah.
So if you have any ideas when you look at this area, just FYI.
This the lacking resources. I didn't see that tautology has had an issue with this mechanism because it's trying to lock machines, and if there is not enough nodes, it just prints an error in the log and then waits some time out and then try again all the time. So the test is actually not failing until if there is some bigger timeout happening. Like more than a day or two.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, they run for 12 hours.
Actually, there is more general timeout for running job itself. So it's all limited by this timeout. But many issues I saw, it's not related to the locking mechanism. Like it's something weird happened in different places, like Ansible stuff, or just some resources are not available, or in file system something is not well. So well, do we have anything else?
I don't.
So Nathan, do we need to backport all those PRs in a backward order? I mean,
In
Nautilus
the same
first,
order.
then
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
yeah, then master, then Nautilus, then Mimic, then Luminous.
Yeah. You know, in order to make it go faster, you could open a single PR for each branch and just backport all of the commits in that one PR. Would that make sense? And it doesn't make any difference which order because they all have to be get the backports.
Yeah, probably it's a good approach. If we had everything on master already.
Yeah, so the first thing would be to get everything into master that we need and make a list of the commits.
Yeah.
And then open 3 different PRs, one for Nautilus, one for Mimic, one for Luminous, containing the backports of all of the changes that went into master.
That makes sense.
Also, it's possible that the named branches, the older named branches, might have some tasks that were removed in master. So we have to be careful about that.
Yeah,
It might
it's
be
basically, yeah, this is the same you saying that manual backport is preferable just because some part of the code is missing, some part. But in general, I found this useful to split the PRs to several ones. Just I mean, no, sorry, not PRs, but commit. Just because
yes,
it's
split it
much
into
easier
commits.
to
Yes. But
backport.
then the commits should be backported presumably in the same order that they went into master, right? So you'd have a list of commits in the same order that they went into master.
Uh, Basically, it doesn't make sense. I mean, there is no difference if you're submitting the same PRs, the PRs to different files. The order is not, but it's useful to have it in the same order. It
Well,
simplifies everything.
if 2 commits are touching the same file, then they could potentially conflict with each other.
Yes, right.
So that's why I suggest to keep the order the same.
Yeah, this is what I'm doing usually, but most of the case, if there is no conflicts, it looks like GitHub and Git itself deals fine with this. Like, even the change set in the beginning of the file or in the and another one at the middle or in the end of file, and they are not overlapping to each other, then can be mixed in each.
Yes, under those conditions, but I would be afraid to state that there won't be any overlapping changes.
Yeah, of course. We are not guaranteed.
Real good.
Yeah. So we're done?
Yep.
Nice.
Thanks, guys.
See you, bye.
Bye bye.
Goodbye, everybody.